Hello and welcome to a little German lesson here in World of Tanks. At least two of you suggested I should make a video about the German tank names, and I think it's a very good idea, and so I'm making this video for you. But at first I think I should tell you something in general about the German words, because you probably know that some words are very long, and this has to do with precision. A panzer, for instance, is usually a tank, but actually it means that an object is armored. To specify what kind of object, you have to join another word. So if you have a safe, which is an armored cabinet, then you say Panzerschrank. And if you have an armored car, then you say Panzerwagen. If this armored car has a gun mounted on it, so it can fight itself, then it's a Panzerkampfwagen. It's the same with the SPGs, in German Selbstfahrlafette. The Lafette is the gun mount, and if it can drive by itself and doesn't have to be pulled by another truck or horses even, then it's a Selbstfahrlafette. It can drive by itself. And if this Selbstfahrlafette is armored, then you have a Panzer Selbstfahrlafette. Then there are some numbers, I think, that should be clear: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. And a specialty in German numbers is everything above 20. We don't say 25 or 38. It's actually backwards. So we say 5 and 20 or 8 and 30. So it's 25 or 38. Okay, I think that's all you need to know right now. So let's start with the SPGs. On Tier 2 we start with the Geschützpanzer Mark 6E. The E stands for English because it's a captured British Mark 6 tank. On Tier 3 we have the Wespe. It's an insect, wasp, and down here it's a Sturmpanzer 1 Bison. I think Sturmpanzer means it's an assault gun that is used to support the infantry and destroy pillboxes and other fortifications. Sturmpanzer 1 because it's based on the Panzer 1 chassis. And Bison is a cow-like animal. Then on Tier 4 we have the Panzer Selbstfahrlafette 4B and the Sturmpanzer 2. Again, it's based on the Panzer 2. On Tier 5 we have the Grille. It's an insect. I think it's cricket. And on Tier 6 it's the Hummel, the bumblebee. On Tier 7 the Geschützwagen Panther. Geschütz means the gun or howitzer. Wagen is a car. And Panther is a cat-like animal, and this one is based on the Panther chassis. So on Tier 8 it's a Geschützwagen Tiger P, and on Tier 9 the Geschützwagen Tiger. And on Tier 10 we have the Geschützwagen E100. The E in the name stands for Experimentalfahrzeug, which means it's an experimental vehicle. The Germans wanted to build a new generation of tanks that used all the same modules, so they were easier to produce and to maintain. Now we have the look at the tank destroyers in German: Panzerjäger. Jäger means hunter, and like a hunter they sit on high ground and wait for the prey to come by. On Tier 2 we start with the Panzerjäger 1. On Tier 3 we have the Marder 2. The Marder is also an animal, it means Wiesel. On Tier 4 we have the Marder 38T. This one seems to be based on the Panzer 38T, and my guess is that this tank was developed in 1938, and the T stands for Tschechian, so it's a Czech development. Also on Tier 4 is the Hetzer. It's of course a nickname, and the official name was Jagdpanzer 38T, again because it's based on the Panzer 38T. Also on Tier 4 is the Stuck 3 Ausführung B. Stuck is an abbreviation for Sturmgeschütz. That's a gun that is used in an assault to support infantry. Ausführung B means it's the version B, or the second version of this tank. On Tier 5 we have the Panzer Selbstfahrlafette 4C and the Stuck 3 Ausführung G. On Tier 6 it's a Nashorn, again an animal. This one is the Rhino, and the Jagdpanzer 4. This premium tank is called Dicker Max, which means Fat Max. It's of course a nickname. The official name was Selbstfahrlafette 4A, because it's based on the chassis of the Panzer 4. So on Tier 7 we have the Panzer Selbstfahrlafette 5, the Jagdpanther, and the premium tank E25. On Tier 8 we have the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. Rheinmetall and Borsig are both companies. I think Rheinmetall has always been and still is a weapon manufacturer, and Borsig started with trains and locomotives, and today they are out of business, at least for 12 years now. Waffenträger, Waffe means weapon and Träger is a carrier, so literally a weapon carrier or gun carrier. Then there's the Jagdpanther 2 and the Ferdinand. Ferdinand is a nickname. The other nickname was Elefant, so elephant, and the official name is Sonderkraftfahrzeug 184. The name Ferdinand comes from Ferdinand Porsche, which was one of the developers. This one was based on Porsche's Tiger P blueprint, but the actual tank was the Jagdtiger based on the Tiger chassis by Henschel. On Tier 9 we have the Waffenträger auf Panzer 4 and the Jagdtiger. On Tier 10 we have the Waffenträger auf E100 and the Jagdpanzer E100. Okay, that's it for the tank destroyers. See you next time.